Prepare to get gas because it's time for the Week in Gear. This week, a small Australian company joins the world of amp sims and Fractal enter the multi-effects game. Oh, and Fender. Fender released the Ultra 2 series, including something called a Stratocaster. This week is sponsored by Disher Music Gear. More about them in a bit. Now let's kick off this week's most exciting guitar gear releases with that Fractal multi-effects. Yes, the Fractal Audio VP4. Now, if you're a fan of Fractal's top-tier effects, but you can't quite stretch to the massive Axe FX3, this one could be for you. The VP4 squeezes a lot of that Fractal effect goodness into a neat, compact, pedalboard-sized package loaded with over 400 effects. It's a lot. It really is. And here's the kicker. You can run 4 effects at once, which doesn't seem like a lot if I'm honest. And I don't know why that is such a marketing thing for Fractal. Is that a thing? Am I wrong? 4 seems a low amount. Anyway, if you're all about the shimmering delays or the huge reverbs or the gritty overdrives, you've got plenty of things to play with here. Let's talk numbers. There are 78 reverbs, almost 130 delays, and 69 drive types. And there are more to come in the future via free firmware updates. Now, let's talk usability. It's got 104 available presets, so that should be enough for pretty much any set list without doing too much tap dancing on your pedal board during the gig. Do you need to hook it up to an amp? No worries, Fractal Audio's got you covered with the 4-cable method, and you can keep the noise ultra low because apparently this has got ultra low noise. And then you're not losing your precious, precious tone that you've spent hours creating in your bedroom only to find that it sounds totally different on stage. I feel a little bit sarcastic in this. It's no disrespect to Fractal or the audio thing. It's just I've recorded this really early in the morning and I'm not yet awake. So I'm feeling saucy. It is missing an expression pedal, but don't worry, you can plug one in because there's an expression pedal socket there for all your wahs, your pitch shifting, and your other wild foot control. You can also do deep dive with the VP4 edit software to fine-tune everything. Also, the connectivity looks solid too. There's stereo in and out, USB audio, MIDI, and SPDIF, or SPDIF if you prefer calling it that. It's coming in at 700 notes or thereabout, which is not exactly pocket change, but compared to the 2,500 notes Axe FX, you're getting a lot of Fractal effect processing power without needing to sublet your garden toilet or your bedroom or all of it or sell a kidney, you know, the classic cliche. Will this be the heart of your rig or are Fractal axing too much? Let me know in the comments. Sorry for that smug face. I'm far too pleased with that pun. Up next, we've got the Friedman IRJ, and this thing is a monster. It's a dual-channel, all-tube preamp pedal designed in collaboration with Jake E. Lee and pulling inspiration from Friedman's existing collaborations, the 𝗬𝗢𝗪100 and the 𝗬𝗢𝗪20 amp heads. The IRJ is powered by two 12AX7 preamp tubes which run at over 300 volts, and Friedman are very clear to state that this is not a Friedman tube amp simulator, it is a Friedman tube amp. Each channel has its own Tube Screamer style boost and EQ settings. It offers a huge range of tones from warm bluesy cleans to all-out high-gain crunch. Channel 1 delivers those muscular British-inspired plexi tones, while Channel 2 cranks things up with a two-way gain switch for even more bite and sustain. I've seen and heard Jamie Humphries demo this thing, and it sounds absolutely cracking. And it's not just because Jamie Humphries is a legend. It sounds pretty damn good. What apparently sets the IRJ apart is the ultra-low latency, synergy-powered impulse response cab sim. That's a mouthful. With 3 built-in Friedman IRs, you also get 15 more IRs included with your purchase, and you can send studio-quality tones straight to the mixing board, your DAW, through a power amp, or through headphones for silent practice. You can also load your own IRs, and tweak everything through the Friedman editor software. At around 600 notes, this is far from budget, but it is a real Friedman tube preamp. Just a short note away from all this silliness, you may have heard that Jake E. Lee was shot in Las Vegas this week. He's recovering and actually seems to be in good spirits, but it would be wrong of me not to mention this and hope that he gets back to full health very soon. Let's have a little break to talk about our sponsor, Disher Music Gear. Disher Music Gear is a family-operated small business from Metro Detroit, Michigan, USA. They offer quality music gear at a decent price, such as this height-adjustable pedal board. I've got one here, and it is an impressive pedal board solution with some style, and prices start at around $80. Each board comes with a padded carrying bag, 11 feet of pedal board mounting tape, and some free picks and stickers. Disher also offer a range of seatbelt nylon and cowhide leather guitar straps in a variety of designs and colors. Also available is the Disher Rattlesnake bass guitar. For more information, check out dishermusicgear.com by visiting the links underneath this video. By the way, if you enjoy this weekly show, share it with a friend. You never know, you could even become best friends. Next up, we can have a little bit of a debate on how to pronounce this brand name. Let's talk about the Hotone Ampero 2, because this thing is packing in effects. 450 of them, in fact, into a sleek little box. We're talking, well, pretty much everything here. We've got amp models, reverbs, delays, modulation, cabs, tone capture, the whole shebang. It's also got 300 presets as well, so whether you're switching between some sort of crunchy metally riff or some ambient swells, or even if you want to use acoustic guitar, it seems to pretty much do everything. Compared to Ampero 1, Ampero 2 has a larger 5-inch dynamic color touchscreen, which should be big enough for most. And if you're into customizing, the Ampero editor software lets you deep dive and tweak everything. There's also a built-in looper, 100 rhythm patterns from the internal drum machine, and the included IRs are official Celestion IRs, but the Ampero 2 also allows you to load in third-party IRs if you've got them. As for connections, it's got bells and whistles aplenty. There's the full-size MIDI DIN sockets, USB audio, there's an expression pedal input for a second expression pedal, aux in, which you can actually record into the Ampero 2, and there's a headphone socket. Also, if you're into singing, I nearly went for it then, there's There's also an input for a mic and a mic preamp with phantom power for use with dynamic and condenser microphones. And what's the point in having all those effects if you can't use them? So you'll be happy to know that you can use 12 effects simultaneously, which seems like quite a lot, but also about the right amount. The Hotone tone catch capture technology enables to capture screenshots or sound shots, or what would you call it? Snapshots. Oh, that's Helix. Let's call it snapshots. Tone catch enables you to capture snapshots of your amps and pedals and then integrate that into the Ampero signal chain, or share them with the Hotone, Hotone community for free. So you can, I don't know, model your real clone and then download someone's Wish clone version and compare them and start a YouTube channel. Building on the Ampero 1, this really actually seems like a strong contender if you need to go ampless. But I honestly thought it would be cheaper, and it's coming in at around 600 notes, which I don't think is too much. It's just in my mind, this product was cheaper, which means it could be a very interesting comparison against the Fractal Audio VP4 that I was just talking about. By the way, there's a lot of amp modeling in this week's episode, and I want to know which one has your wallet itching. Itchy finger. If you've been on YouTube this week, you may have noticed that Fender have released a new range of guitars. Well, if you haven't, let's talk about it. They've updated the Ultra series to the Ultra 2. Predictable name, but why change things if they're not broken? And they've also added some very welcome upgrades. Although not enough upgrades if you believe the YouTube comments left under any of the 5,000 videos that were released this week. including mine, which you can go and watch by clicking that card just there. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more. Actually, we'll say a bit more. It's actually also better to show than to tell, so here is an HSS Ultra 2 Strat. And as I said in my review video, I think it's a great mix of vintage and modern Strat if you want to have a Fender on the headstock. Weird parodying myself. Available in the Ultra 2 series are Tellies, Strats, P-basses, Jazz basses, and oddly, but beautifully wonderfully, Meteoras, guitars, and basses. Now, as the Ultra 2 is a series, I'm not going to go through every spec of every guitar, and I'm also not going to regurgitate what I've already said about this Strat. So, here are the highlights. The Ultra 2 series is about giving musicians the best that Fender can offer. However, they're also available in some pretty bold colors, so aesthetics are definitely high on the list for Fender. Just like the first Ultra series, the body is made of alder with a gloss urethane finish and ultra body contours. It is a bit more sleek than, say, a 50s Strat. However, it's also got this neck heel contour, which is great. I love it. But, however, the Ultra 2, the neck has been upgraded to quarter sawn maple with a modern D profile and a 10 to 14 inch compound radius. The fingerboards are either ebony or quarter sawn maple again, and every neck has lumen lay side dots for that glow-in-the-dark stage feeling. There's a lot of eye candy in the Ultra 2 series, so let's talk about the colors. The series is available in Texas T, Ultra Burst, Avalanche, Noble Blue, Solar Flare, and Sinister Red. I particularly love the pickguards on the Ultra 2 series, and they're anodized aluminium. This one's black, obviously, and they're also available in gold and silver. As for the pickups, they are newly voiced Ultra 2 noiseless pickups, and there's a Haymaker humbucker in the Meteora and the HSS Strat. There's also the S1 switching, which is in the volume knob, which I still find mesmerizing. And that, depending on what guitar you have, depends on what function that plays. So in this HSS Strat, it splits that humbucker and gives you just the inner coil. At around 2,000 notes, this is not a cheap option, but for those who want a premium Fender experience, it is pretty hard to argue with the build quality and the modern features. It's priced at around what I think you should pay for it, and yeah, I'm very happy with this one. And if it had a thicker neck, it would definitely be my #1 stage Strat. Also, possibly a few other things which I might talk about in another video. But Fender, stop putting thin necks on these. Like, give us a few more options. It's just, for me, too small. And I think universally these, it does feel very nice. Universally, these necks that please everybody actually don't please many. Or I could be just being very selfish there. Just give me some more wood, Fender. Please. Andy's Pick of the Week. My pick of the week this week is from Australian pedal builder PolyEffects. It's this, the Ampel, which I think is one of my favorite names for a pedal ever. This rather strange looking box is an amp and cab simulator. And before I tell you about all the features and things that it can do, I want to show you what happens when you turn it on. Where's the switch? There. Beep boop beep boop boop boop. Beep boop boop beep beep boop boop. Computing your tone. That was me adding those sounds. It doesn't actually make those sounds. I think that's very cool, or it could be a complete step in the wrong direction. It's sliding LEDs, so you actually control it by sliding your fingers on there once it's loaded up, which does take a fair while. You can control things like that. So there are no knobs on there. There's just these 2 foot switches, which you can turn it on and off, of course. You can also have a boost, and because it's stereo, you can have 1 amp on the left and 1 amp on the right, which I think is great fun. Actually, I released a video about this, and there's a card up there for you if you want to go and watch it, rather than hear me talk about it in this episode of Twig. Ampel has 56 classic amps from the past and present. So let me show you them. They're in the manual, because it's a rather impressive little fold-out manual. There we go. Look at these. There they are. there's all the amps that you could, well, most of the amps you could possibly need. And as I mentioned, there's no knobs and stuff. It's all sliders, which is a bit weird at first, but you kind of get used to it. I'd love to know how, well, go and see the video that I made if you want my full opinion, but you can boost and cycle through amps using those foot switches, so it's actually not as weird as it first appears. It's just another thing you have to learn. Back to the amps, the categories are Clean, Crunch, Destroy, Classic USA, Classic UK, Gen X, and Bass. It can run in mono, or it can run in stereo, or you can plug headphones directly into the output and it will recognize you're wearing them and go straight to your ears. There's also a little USB socket on the back, but that's only for firmware updates. It's not an audio interface or anything. And these two TRS sockets are for MIDI in and MIDI out. Each amp also comes with its matching cab, and you can turn that amp off if you want, but you can't replace it with a different cab. So you're stuck with what they've modeled, or you turn it off. I think this is cool, and in a world of knobs and switches, it's only those LED sliders. It's refreshingly novel, but it might be too far for some. It is very intuitive though, and there's lots of visual feedback, which I enjoy. There's generally a lot to love about Ampel. My review came out a few days ago, and well, possibly yesterday if you're watching this on day of release. If you like guitar gear with a bit of a twist, I think this is going to impress you. I had a bunch of fun with it, and it's coming in at around 400 notes. As always, links are underneath this video. Thank you to the wonderful people that support this show on Patreon. Their names are up on the screen right now. Hello, everybody. And these people support the show right here on YouTube. Hello to you as well. Thank you very much. If you want to have your name up on screen in future episodes of The Week in Gear, then all you have to do is click the join button right here on YouTube, or visit my Patreon link below the video somewhere. And if you really want to get a shout out, I suppose that's what they're called, here's a special thanks to the top tier members. Alinta Boston, Buddha Blue, Boom Shakalaka, Boozl, Dirk, Doug Paget, Hugh G. Rection, Johnny McBadminton, Michael 𝗦𝗨𝗥𝗪𝗪, Pop's Place. This prank is officially sponsored by Jason Welch, Andrew Morgan, Dustin Bonney, Gary O'Neill, Josh Tamberg, PQ Deads, Robin Kelly, Sarang Narayan, and Southern Panda 33. Whew. Thank you, top tier members. You make my lungs explode. Remember, you don't need new gear to make great music, but that just sounds like something that you put on a t-shirt. If this video sparks some joy, hit that like button and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye!